Well. What now? What shall we do next? Well, welcome class if you're currently here. Hopefully no one's showed up late. If anyone has detention for you. So yes, we're back with the Dylan Rounds case. As a brief note, my banana is on public display this time round. So if you want to take a look, have a look now. There you go. Hopefully you enjoy what you see. It's to your standards. You know, let me know your thoughts on it. You know, should it remain there? Is it a work of art? Is it being put to good use? Or do you feel like it could be used for other purposes? Feel free to let me know. Now, you might wonder, what are these items? Well, it's just a standard thing these days, right? I might as well do it now before I forget. So, you know, shout out to Stephen once again in recent time for their presence in the live chat. Appreciate it. Good of them. Also, Famous Up. There isn't a horse this time round, but I do have this. So I can like tap like that, okay? Okay. It'll be gentle. Famous Up, don't worry. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, okay. One more. 1, 2. There you go. Oh, Stephen, you want to try it as well? There you go. You prefer that or do you prefer the belt? Let me know. And one other individual I need to make note of. How am I going to do this? We've got to be fair, right? We've got to be fair. So one individual, that's if they're present right now. If not, that's unfortunate. But an individual called Cindy, yeah? So Cindy said she could take it. Well, that's intriguing. Is it worth putting it into action? Right? It would make sense to give it a try. Now, is it like Raf giving blessings out left, right and centre, just like the wings on this coat with the sword going through? We got to be somewhat strict, right? But because I'm in a good mood, I'll give you a quick free trial, okay? Only one whip. That's all you're getting, Cindy. So you ready? Yeah? Well, I don't care if you're ready or not. You're getting it. Actually, that sounds a bit weird, that sounds very dodgy. Shit. Okay. You ready? You said, Cindy, that, I could take this any day. Oh my God, this is nothing. This is amateur. Well, we'll see, won't we? And then you can give your feedback. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's all you're getting, okay? You know, if you want more blessings, you know what you got to do, man. But aside from that, okay, you can leave your thoughts down below about that. Does anyone else want to get whipped or this used on them? Feel free to leave it down below in the comment section, okay? So this video is a loose one. It's another discussion, okay? It's not heavy facts and information. I think we went quite heavy with the last video, right? A lot of information to read off and text to analyze. Sometimes too much of that can clog up people's brains. It can get a bit too much. So I guess we can kind of unwind, okay? No, it's not a counselling session. I mean, who would turn up to Raf's counselling session? I'm not too sure. But I think what we'll do, we're going to combine some discussion around my channel, the structure of it, more to do so with live video premieres and the chat. Okay, I need to explain that and compare, contrast with other people. Aside from that, there is the odd Facebook post we can take a look at, interesting question and see the comments and replies to it. No harm in doing that. And then, if there is time, it's a bit later tonight, I'll do some kind of map analysis, very loose one, not a dodgy one, just more overviewing overlooking the area in preparation for my next video, unless something else happens in between. And just in brief, what I'm thinking of, and it was a suggestion by one or two people, I'm not quite sure who said it. It might have been Indiana and somebody else, mentioned about taking a look at Dylan's truck and the mileage, try and work that out. And I can do, and I will at some point. It might not be the best, but if we can build off of it, then it might help in some way. But more about that in another video, right? So I think we'll start off with the discussion first of all. So what you'll notice, or what you might have picked up on, is you may see an influx in new accounts and users. I mean, that will always happen on YouTube. People come and go. But if you see like a bulk amount appearing in the chat, it's either, it could be dodgy people, alt accounts, or it's followers of another channel. And if another channel is not active at this moment in time, during the time of when I'm like doing a video myself, people will come on over. So that's why you get people migrating from one place to another. People have said Salty Pancake's channel was temporarily banned or restricted recently. I don't know if that's fully true or not. I mean, there haven't been any videos, so I guess that must be the case. If it's the strike system, 1 strike on YouTube means you can't post for 7 days. 2 strikes on YouTube means you can't post for 2 weeks. If you get a 3rd one, then your channel is terminated, okay? Also, what coincides with those restrictions, with the strikes, is you can't do any live streams or shorts, really anything. I don't know if you can comment on other people's channels. That might not be restricted, unless it's to a certain point, because Salty Pancakes did make his presence recently, and it was his account from the looks of it visually, if I can use my recollection at the time, okay? But we just put that aside. How to quite word it? It's a balancing act, right? Even when it comes down to the live chat. If you wanted to talk in some kind of comparison, more real time. There we go, here we go. When it comes to live streams, live call-ins, Jim Terry's channel, from the looks of it and the way it's been described himself, is the type of place where there's no censoring. If you want to say something positive or negative, if you want to criticize him, it's welcome. It's like an open battleground. If you give it, you will receive it as well. Stick to the lines. Don't get too carried away with that idea, okay? But yeah, it's kind of give and take. Unless people have got their own stories, feel free to leave your own experiences down below. If you have been on a person's YouTube channel during a live chat, let me know if you've ever been banned, restricted, timed out, and it was on a channel that said everyone is welcome. Let me know, because if people have different stories, it could go against what the original channel member sets out and describes it, you know what I'm saying? But if it is true that Jim Terry's channel welcomes anyone and everyone to speak and say whatever, I'm like the equivalent in terms of the live video premiere live chat, where people can text and comment whatever they want. To an extent. We've not come across too much degeneracy, right? Okay, there's been some dodgy accounts, but no need to change all of a sudden, because we saw it at the beginning where it all started kicking off. It was seeing other fake accounts first of all, and then it, progressed from there. But this is the thing, and someone like Ty Corbin, raised the question, Raf, why don't you restrict the chat? Why aren't you banning or blocking these individuals? Well, there's several reasons. One, need to maintain balance, and I can explain more of that in a second. Two, it won't do much good. It could cause worse things to happen in a way. So, and thirdly, it's a way of evidence as well. So this is like the structuring how I see it. Obviously, you need balance in the case, first of all, when it comes to covering topics, themes, key individuals in the case. Then you need balance in listening to certain information from different people. Even if it contrasts to one another, you got to hear both sides of the story, right? That's another form of balance. And then the final form of balance would be in the actual live chat or even the comment section, whichever one. The balance maintained there is leaving the comments up, which will be positive but also negative. There have been times, and I think it's just automatic by YouTube, where people's comments might get removed or deleted or not shown, and I've not touched it. It's YouTube doing weird stuff. And even when you go into the restricted comments on my channel, they're not even there. So YouTube does mess up at times and weird things happen. So it's not me hiding comments, it does it randomly. But there will be other times where comments highlighted by YouTube as possibly offensive, where the odd swear word was used or someone said, "Oh, you're a stupid idiot, Raf." They get restricted, but then I approve of them, so then they are publicly visible. That's an example of maintaining balance. So even when I might not be in control of it, I take control back and I approve of those comments. And you might be wondering, why would you approve of negative comments? That doesn't seem quite right. Or like if there was a comment which might highlight something that isn't true, why would you approve it? So then other people can see and then make their own minds up. You suppress one thing but accept another, then it's literally like being Doug from No Thanks and Candice Cooley being all nicey in communication between one another, but then she went with other content creators or other searchers out there. It's kind of one-sided. It's almost like double standards. You know, you're going to allow one thing, you might as well allow the other. So that's like how I apply it with the comment section and the live chat. Yeah, that's the way I say it, and that's how you maintain balance. And that ties on to the next point. If you don't maintain balance and you do suppress someone, silence someone, censor a message, it might actually encourage or enrage the individual to come back harder with many more weird accounts. You know, like if you cut a worm in half, then two are now present, right? So it's best just leaving it as it is. Let them get whatever off their chest, whinge, whine, complain, or say whatever, and then it's over and done with till the next time. But if you start, you know, good example would be the shack lady. When the shack lady had some kind of attack with multiple fake accounts, default ones, the mods in the chat were like either reporting, well, no, not reporting, I think it was just like blocking the accounts and then removing the messages over and over again. But then that just kept leading to more and more people keep coming in. So it's almost like encouraging, you know, you show resistance, you're showing a reaction, which means they're getting what they want, so they'll keep on pushing. You don't react, or you think, oh, whatever. I mean, they might get a little bit bored with time, okay? Balance, but also for them, maybe boredom. So that's the way I see it. And as well, thirdly, next reason ties in with it being publicly visible. It's open for other people to interpret. If a comment, a piece of information is incorrect, isn't it good to keep that publicly visible? And then a public figure or a key individual or someone with evidence comes in and responds to that comment. So from there on then, whenever anyone, any traffic comes in, sees that comment, they can check the replies and find out the actual truth. If you suppress a lie, if you suppress silence, misinformation, slander, it's good you're getting rid of that stuff because it's not true. But for the odd few people that might have seen it early on, that's embedded in their mind. And then if it's removed or taken down, the viewers who saw it earlier might then start getting confused and thinking, oh, why is that comment removed? Is it because this channel doesn't approve that comment because there's a level of biasness, no balance? Oh, maybe I shouldn't trust this person anymore. I think they're losing their credibility because they're changing our behaviour. It can lead to a spiral effect going down. So if you're going to be one way, you might as well just stick with it. And because I was like that at the start of this case, I might as well stick with it, because if I suddenly start changing, that is where things go to shit. And you've seen it other times, other situations with different channels where they were following a certain order and pattern of videos, and then they suddenly change it, and then that leads to a negative response. And I'll give an example of it, right? It's not the end of the world, because in terms of the actual individual that made the decision, the choice to change it, they probably are better off in a way now. But in terms of external people, traffic people that used to watch negative, so like Jim Terry, okay? I mean, you could say Salty Pancakes as well to an extent, but like, whilst you might have had these live streams on their channels previously, live, publicly visible, or maybe restricted at first, but then publicly released a day later, everyone could see it. But whether it be through threats, drama, you know, they were restricted member-only channels. So these YouTube channels changed the way they do their thing. So other people didn't like that, so there was negativity. Whereas someone like me, the videos I've uploaded then are kind of like now. They're not restricted, they're not hidden, they're not secretive. There's no drip feeding of information, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if there was like a time or a moment where there was some kind of information or the odd idea or impression, but it couldn't be said due to the privacy of an individual, then I guess you've got to follow through with that, or you end up screwing other people over, and then that doesn't help in the matter. So as I said, it's a balancing act. I mean, you know, there might be the odd like community post where it's like members only on my channel, but that's like more to do with the actual members on the channel and like some of the badges and visual aesthetics, right? As for like the mystery stuff, you know, what you see is what you see, and what you've seen then is what you see now. So that's the level of consistency. Consistency, balance, keywords, right? Especially in a case like this. And, you know, another point I need to bring up, evidence, right? If you see a negative comment by someone, if you delete it, block them, you will no longer see that message. So if you needed to report a channel for certain behavior, certain communication, negative, what evidence do you have? Where's the screenshot? It's no longer available anymore. So by keeping the comments up, visible, and the live chat, it provides people an opportunity to make their own decisions and act however they think, without me having to be the executioner. You know what I'm saying? If people don't like this, then they can maybe act on it if they wish to. They want to block that individual or report them. And then they won't have to see it again. They might even get someone's channel taken down. But then this is where the balancing comes in, but also the frustration from others. At times, it might get to a pick and choose situation, and the shack lady is a good example, right? It's more direct this, but it's a solid example. You got the likes of Pancakes, Jim Terry, shack lady in the middle at a point in time, because she invited both on individually, separately, but also at the same time. She was at times in a position where she was kind of forced to choose between one or the other, because Pancakes and Jim Terry don't get on. It's like, which side are you on, Shack Lady? Right or left? The dark side or the very dark side? And it's like, what do you do? So it creates a bit of peer pressure in a way. The forced feeling, right? That's what I don't want. That's what I'm not going to allow here. Because if I start listening to one or two individuals that are like, you should block that person, you should report that person, why are they still visible now, you should do something about it, it's not exactly great, is it? If I start listening to one or two people, then I have to start listening to this person and that person. If one person makes a request and I listen to them, then all the other people will be like, well, that's not fair. Why are you listening to this individual and not our demands? Listen to us. And then I've got to listen to them and then listen to them. And then by the end of it, I'm bent over backwards and I'm getting whipped from all angles. That should not happen here. That's where balance is thrown out the window because of peer pressure and unnatural force in which they are taking control over you. That's probably why sometimes where an individual that might have been invited onto a channel or a panel in some way, they might have taken over themselves. So sometimes it's best staying away from that so you don't get overrun, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I guess the key words, as I said, balance, consistency, but also avoiding double standards, and I guess avoiding favoritism, because when some of those are broken or you go against one, that's when you start losing credibility and that's when everything implodes on itself. And because I've seen it happen to several channels and situations, you know, it can become a bit messy. And I'm not talking about a channel suddenly changing in covering a different case, a different mystery. That's normal to change. Or suddenly taking a step back to have a break because you've been doing it for too long. That's normal. But in terms of suddenly changing the mechanics behind it in an unnatural, maybe unfair way, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's pretty much it. And this is the thing, what people also need to remember is if you hide these accounts, then how can you find them? Right? You want to be able to find them so then you can keep track of them, just like how some people have requested. Now, there's one individual, and I'll mention it now. Can't remember who exactly it was, but I think it was a Mr. X supporter, and they had the profile picture of Mr. X, bit of a purpley one, and they said to me, if I don't block the fake Weedbly account, then he is going to come after me. Not exactly smart wording that, because that can be interpreted as a threat, aka against YouTube TOS. Now, I can understand to an extent the idea of, you know, you got to do something about this bullshit and its fakeness because it might be having a negative impact and image on me. And I'm like in the middle of it. So it's like the Shack Lady situation. It's either you support this person or that person. And it's like, what a mess. I mean, if it's such a problem, then people just report a certain account, then it gets shut down, right? If enough people do it. But then if I have to start taking command at helm of the wheel, then that is where it becomes a problem, right? How do I word it? I can see things visually, how it would happen if this was done or if that was done, and the negative impact it would have. Because I can predict certain negative things. I can't prevent everything, but I can stop some things from happening. So, yeah. So we put that aside. Okay, there will be still talks about Thailand's positive things, negative stuff. Pancakes, Jim Terry, positive things, negative stuff, depending who you hear it from. Some people will be saying directly to me, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Have you not heard about this? Have you not looked at that? And it's like, well, how can one? Because at the end of the day, I do have my own videos to make, right? And when I've got my own videos to make, I focus and lock in on them. When it gets to the times where there might not be any more ideas or videos to cover on a certain thing or area, that's probably where I might look a bit deeper into a more niche thing or something that's not been talked about for a while, and then I stumble across it, a video talking about it, some kind of audio being leaked, you know, that type of stuff. I'm not going to know of it immediately. And this is the other thing, and it kind of makes a contradiction. Some of the people that might be having a go at me saying, oh, you know, why are you getting involved in this drama? You know, you should stay away from it. What are you doing? And then later they're having a go then saying, oh, shouldn't you know, or shouldn't you already know about this and know about that? Why are you not doing this and why are you not doing that? You know, you need to keep up with it. And it's like, well, isn't that like what you originally said in the first place? Like, if I don't know the full story, because I've not looked much into it, because I've been doing my own other stuff and specifically focusing on the Dylan Rounds case instead of the drama, briefly touched upon it but not gone deep into it, then isn't that a good example of me not really getting involved in the drama in the first place, which you recommended? But now you're saying that I should. So that's a contradiction. There you go. Are you Candice Cooley? Hi. Okay. So let's put that aside now, right? I think we talked long enough. I said in the live chat, and I don't know if I said it. I don't even know if I actually said it at the start of this video. It might be the first time I haven't. Said, you know what? Naughty me. I was whipped myself. Yeah, come on. Come on, big boy. Fucking yeah. Give it me. Yeah, so aside, you feel the sensation, it's like a tingling, and unfortunately, I did it over the chest area, and I think I might have caught the nip. It's like a dull ache, damn. I must have got it from the side bit. There's a dull ache on the chest now. That's interesting. New sensation unlocked, okay? Do you want that? I don't know. But yeah, what I should have said at the start of this video is welcome if you're here in the live chat. I appreciate it. And obviously, you know, well done if you're still here. You know, you're not disappeared or ran away, so that's a good sign. So, you know, as we've gone along in this video, you obviously can share your own thoughts, opinions about the topics and the discussion of Dylan, right? What we're going to do now is transition on over to Facebook, find Dylan Rounds, just to see if there's any interesting posts or questions, discussions in the comments, read through it briefly. And whilst I'm doing so, you can either talk about other things in between with one another or directly about what's being presented, okay? Let's transition, why am I sounding French? Let's move on over to Facebook now. Okay, so going through the post, it's mainly to do with support for Dylan and, you know, photos of the stickers and that type of regular activity, which is still kind of spreading awareness, I guess. You know, if you're in public and you've got that sticker, someone sees it, they might know of Dylan in that way. But we come across this question, might as well read it out and share thoughts, by Jim. Not Jim. Bloody hell, not another Jim. 31st of October. We're going a little bit backwards in a way, but I don't remember seeing it before. This is the thing with the Facebook page, it's not in the correct order. Maybe you can change the relevancy, but I guess you need to be signed in and have an account to do so, which I don't. But let's read it. Jim asked a question. Was it incompetence that the Box Elder Sheriff's Office did not follow up more aggressively for the first few days of the investigation, or are they protecting Jim Brenner or something he is involved in? Seems a good chance Dylan's body was hidden in Nevada. Seems a number of individuals have heavy equipment operating experience. Keys often left in the machines in isolated rural areas like this. True tragedy, prayers for Dylan and his family. I mean, the bit about keys left in machines, if that is the case. Like, same with like Dylan keeping his vehicle unlocked. If there's a low population, it's a ghost town, you don't have to really worry as much about people stealing your items, right? So it might create almost like a carefree attitude in a way, to an extent. I'm sure, I mean, you can leave your thoughts down below. Someone like Dylan who didn't lock his truck when he was on the farmland, Did that translate into a bad habit when Dylan might have been visiting a different place, like Hazleton, Idaho Falls, Montello, Wendover? Any of those places, or even further afar? Would he lock his vehicle in those locations or not? Kind of interested because it's not really been talked about. So, linking back to this original question by Jim, Box Elder Sheriff's Office, yes, they've been quiet recently, and I don't know how long for now, but we might as well also bring it up whilst we're here because a few people mentioned it. So, obviously, with this recent search by Candice Cooley, Chris, Mob Crew, Justin, K9 Unit, and Equa Search being described as what should have happened back in the past, viewers, some of them did ask, well, if that's the case, then why did they not do it earlier? Candice Cooley's response to that in the interview recently on No Thanks was, Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, the LE, stopped us in our tracks from doing that stuff. Now, I don't know exactly how, whether it be the LE saying, nope, you can't do that, or the LE stepping in and preventing and delaying stuff, such as the K9 unit, like at the beginning, Bloodhound one, and the drones, maybe. I don't know how involved they were, whether it be physically or just verbally, right? But we've got to try and understand how long have Box Elder County been quiet for, first of all, and in terms of their physical presence, and as described by Candice Cooley, they've not been in the area for some time now. So if they've not been in the area for some time now, then there isn't much authority or presence, right, in real life. So technically, Candice Cooley, the family, shouldn't have been stopped. Shouldn't have been any resistance back then, up to a certain point. So they could have done it earlier. It's kind of like a contradiction. Candice Cooley saying that LE prevented us from doing this earlier, but when you look back earlier to a certain point, they weren't present, they weren't on site, nowhere to be seen. So I don't know why it stopped them if they weren't there. You get what I'm saying? You can leave your thoughts down below to what you think about it. I guess we can just check out the comments briefly. Here we are. I'll just tap that. Okay. What does it say? Ethan. With a large rural county like that, I would bet it's just ignorance and incompetence. They've never had anything big like this, and their egos won't let them admit they're out of their league. Ego ruins the world. This person's referring to Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, the department, LE, that most cases they handle with will be in more of a populated area and not as vast. So they're out of the depth. Basically, that's how it's worded. Do you think that? I might as well do a brief poll now. Due to the way LE handled the Dylan Rounds case, do you feel they were out of their depth or not? Okay. I know you said Caddy there. We've got another Marie. That's exactly it. Yeah. Now, there is no way that they would let anyone else take over. That'd be admitting they haven't known how to handle this from day one. They not only need to admit their incompetence for this and for Jim Brenner, a known felon. Yeah. At this point, both. If they couldn't handle the case, they should have handed it over the soonest. Yep. Possible there's some evidence that points to someone else and they're pursuing those leads. Well, not heard of really any other individuals. In the chat right now, quick brief question. Have any of you heard of any other suspects that have not been talked about much who could be possibly involved in the case in some way? Or have you heard of new individuals talked about in recent time that might play a part who are a bit suspicious? Let me know down below if you have come across that. Kind of gone quiet in a way. What's this? there's a possessive meaning in belongs as, so this person's like doing a English class. Okay, Misty, are you listening? Okay, don't worry, your wording, your descriptions are far more advanced than most of these humans, you know. This is the thing, and it's kind of unrelated, right? But we'll just mention it in the first place. There will be the odd person who is spiritual in chat right now. And, you know, there's positives and negatives, right? Let's be realistic. If we want to associate it, tie it in with a case, you could say the negatives are people that are into that. They could be a bit delusional, or they could try proving a point which isn't true and causing misinformation. You know, like this the spirit stuff, the card readings, internalization and interpretation and predictions and all that stuff. Where's it really led to? But then again, you might get the odd person who's a bit more credible or isn't as much of a mess in a way. I know Paige. Yes, I remembered your name, Paige. Oh my God, Paige. You got such a great name. Wow, I'm so jealous. But yeah, she suggested that, you know, there is the odd spiritual medium or whatever out there and stuff, and it's not as bad. But the positive is, okay, this is where we maintain balance, restore it. The positive thing is with some of the spiritual people, such as the ones that might be in the live chat right now. If you're spiritual, I'm sure there is at least one person right now, I know. And the positive is they're on a completely different level, okay, to the majority of the human race. They could be called out and called crazy or something, but these individuals that can sense, feel something, most people don't, see something, hear something, almost foreshadow a vision, envision something happening. You know, maybe it's because they're able to connect the dots together better than other people with common sense, or they kind of like have like stepping stones over, you know, the stepping stones are wider apart compared to everyone else, so they can almost like fast track ahead of what could happen, seeing things before they do happen. You know, that type of stuff. You call it premonition. I don't know. But because they can pick up on stuff more and think outside of the box, some of the spiritual people, and you call it astrology? I don't know. That might be something else. It can open a new angle and perspective, providing, you know, you don't go all in and you say it's this or it's that. That could go a bit messy. But if you just suggest like little pointers, different directions to look in, there are positives, right? And yeah, some of the spiritual people, you know, aside from that, they tend to be, I might be wrong, but some of the spiritual people, like in terms of their behaviour and their personality, they seem to be good people. They seem to be a bit more calm. Well, they might get a bit wild. I don't know. Where are we going with this? I don't know. But let's just put that aside for now. I just wanted to bring it up. I don't know why I thought of it on the spot, but there you go. What's this by Amy? I think when they started the investigation, they thought it was a missing person, not a possible criminal investigation. I bet they thought Dylan would just come back to his farm. He was 19. It was a holiday weekend. I bet they thought he was just out partying. The sheriffs didn't listen to the parents and the concerns that he isn't a typical 19-year-old kid. Yeah, and you know, they might have thought, well, with the Memorial Day barbecue, just assumed that Dylan was there, even though he wasn't. But there is talk as well, and maybe we can take a look at it. I think we need to return back to Saddle Sore Bar, because I think there could be untold stories or things not fully explained. And you know what? Yes, Andrew. Yes, more. Damn, that was a bit too hard, that. That's what Raf said. But no. Once again, I've generated more. Why am I sounding like I'm submissive on the floor, begging, looking up to you? I don't know. Get that thought out of your mind for now. Basically, on the spot, I've just thought of some new ideas to compile into one video, I think. Maybe unanswered questions, key locations revisited. I think, yes, no, I'm not channeling ghost. I'm not contacting paranormal stuff right now. But no, I can actually visualize it right now, exactly how it can go. We're still doing a map analysis in this video, just a loose one, but I can briefly touch upon them in this video. Okay, just briefly. That's good, that. Okay, that's good to know. Let's move on, see if there's any more comments lower down. Right, appears to be 2 comments left by Rane. Okay, and they're saying, I felt deep in my soul there is a cover-up even to the point of evil associated with JB through LE and BEPD. Just me. What does BEPD mean? Box Elder Police Department, I assume. Okay. And who's this? Terry. Have they appeared on my channel? No, I don't think so. I also believe he was transported across state lines to Nevada. There are so many cameras now, it is just a matter of time and manpower to view the footage. Well, I don't know. I mean, you can leave your thoughts down below. Well, so there might be places like Salt Lake City, Ogden, Snowville, places, you know, to go to which will have CCTV, which have been talked about, like with Chase Venstra, okay? What about the CCTV in Nevada? Right, it's always been about Utah, okay? As Joseph prefers it, Utah. Just like Reno, Nevada. But we've not heard much CCTV talk about the likes of Montello or Wells or where's your place? Elko County, is that what you call it? Elko. Nothing about Park Valley. Nothing about Hazleton. What about CCTV footage in those areas, but more to do with Nevada, Montello? Is it simply because there are not many cameras? I mean, from what people have said, there's not many cameras, hardly any, in the town of Montello. When I looked myself on the maps and some of the recent footage of the place, such as the bar, there were no cameras on the outside or in. So, I mean, you could say because of cost, you could say because of community watch, they've got their own vigilante group, but they trust one another, so they don't need cameras, because not much crime supposedly happens in that area. You know what I'm saying? It would make sense to have cameras, but maybe it's just because they can't afford it. I don't know. Leave your thoughts. I'll just do another brief poll right now, okay? Make sure to answer it. Are there enough cameras in the likes of Montello and nearby area in Nevada? Yes or no? Okay, because if so, then it'd be interesting to see the CCTV footage of, to even see Dylan on camera the day or the day before he went missing, right? It would be interesting, wouldn't it? To see what he's dressed like, so you know his clothing, how he appears, is he wearing the boots or not? Wearing something else, you know, his vehicle, how does that appear? You know, timestamps, right? Distance, possibly. Can all help in one way or another. So, yeah, you just feel free to answer that down below. Do we have anything else going on? Jazz Girlson, once again, shared with Denise Cooley, don't know who that is, posting for Dylan's grandma. Oh, so that's just more to do with like the tributes and stuff, like with the sunflowers, you know, farming related. Okay. Panel of Duty Ron, yeah, that went underway and stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Facebook at the moment. Okay, so I think it's round about time we have a look on Google Earth, don't you think? A little bit of map time. Keep it at steady level compared to some of the previous videos, right? Now, I don't know if you wanted a close-up of my banana, but I don't think I can fit it in shot. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't quite fit. Maybe if I sat back a little bit. There you go, you can see it a bit better now. Now, what's it doing here? That's a good question. I don't know. But I think I need to keep my banana protected because, you know, someone takes a nibble out of it, you know, it's going to lose its value, right? Both financially, maybe, but more to do with the visual look of it. You don't want to see someone with a banana which has a chunk missing out of it, right? It's not exactly appetizing, right? You know, it's a piece of art, it needs to remain in stable condition, right? Because if not, then it's like, what do we do then? But what I will say is, gotta keep this banana safe, because obviously you got that YouTube channel called Gorilla Jack. Oh no, Gorilla Jack dressed as a gorilla. If he sees or hears word of this massive banana, I mean, could be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So if anyone's got any decent ideas to keep this banana safe, protected, so it's not harmed, it's not hurt, it remains in shape, it remains in size, leave your thoughts down below. Like, do you have better uses for it? Do you think you would appreciate it more, this? Are you able to, you know, take better care of this banana of mine than other people? Well, if so, I can hand the banana over to you, okay? Yeah? Yes, it's a direct transaction. I'll just pass it on over now. Yeah, have you got it in your hand? Come on, use both hands. You know, one hand is not good enough. You know, the circumference of this, it's large, right? Okay, you got it? Yeah, there we go. Good, good, good. So it wasn't that difficult after all. Now don't mess around with it too much because it's delicate, right? So with that out of the way, let's move on to Google Earth and see what we can find. Here we are, back again. I wonder, is there any 360-degree shots we did not look at last time? I guess there's no harm in checking, right? I mean, like near Snowville, has anyone done anything there? Because I know you got the street view, but these 360-degree shots can be of key areas of completely different times. You know, they might not align with the street view, the date and time, the year, because it's been taken by a general public individual, such as the example here. If we just tap on this. Now, you've got to understand that this is much further out, so it's probably not going to be associated with Dylan. But nevertheless, you can find some interesting stuff when searching about in the desert area, right? So if you look here, looks like a convoy of trucks, pickup trucks. Maybe they're just hiking out. Doesn't quite give the year on this one, which is a bit weird. Normally it does. You can see the surrounding area. Might be old because it looks a bit grainy. I mean, when you do the mountain ones, right, on the peaks, they're some of the more helpful ones, right, you get. Good idea. Is there one at Park Valley? No, but over here on the mountainous part, it overlooks it. So if we go here, if we're able to overlook it, we might be able to look at the backside of the cemetery, right? That'll be interesting. Let's just take a look at this one first of all. I think the title of this video, or part of it, is probably more appropriate to call it Casually Browsing on the Maps. So then it's not directly to do with Dylan. So you got a couple of stones laid about. You got a motorcycle. Okay. I don't know what bike it is, what make it is, if you know. A couple of stones scattered about, rocks. Oh, I should say rocks. Oh my God, the geologists are going to come in and crucify me. Oh my God, how could you call it a little stone or pebble? That is offensive. I don't see the point of the 2D, 3D mode. It doesn't really seem to do anything. Right, okay. This one. Hopefully this does overlook Park Valley so we can see what it looks like from a higher ground, hopefully. Let's see which way. Maybe not. It's taken by the same individual. Yeah. Okay, hello there. There's a stick in the ground. Oh, of course it's individual. They didn't take it on the edge of the mountain. No, they took it further in so you can't see over. What a shame. Never mind. We'll see what else we can find. I've got to make sure I don't overlap too much because there'll be some locations which I might have had a look at. And you know, sometimes, you know, when you zoom in several times, you get those multiple dots, right? We have looked at that area. It was that dodgy festival. And I think somewhere down here was the guy with the pink bunny ears, if you remember. Now, I'll type in one thing, and I don't know if it'll pick it up immediately. Oh my God, Starbucks again. No. Lucin fist. I'm sure there was a fist. What? No. We're not going to Spain. No. Lucin fist. There was a fist sculpture. There we go. Here we go. Fistful of art. Does anyone want a fist? Look at this. Taken in 2020. I don't know if we'll be able to get a 360-degree tour of the area, but, you know, I don't know who made it. Have any of you seen this before? Basically, it's an arm, bit of bicep, forearm, and then the fist clenched. I don't know what's wrapped around it, if it's paper, tape. I don't know what it exactly is. Looks like it might be made out of concrete. I don't know what that blue thing is either. Have you seen this before in the desert? Have you visited it? Do you know who created it? Feel free to let me know. There you go, that's another angle. Oh my God, that bicep. Oh my God, it's nearly as big as mine. No, it's not. No, that is far bigger. Was in the distance. What the hell's that? Is that some kind of Wicca thing? Wickerdom. It's time for Wickerdom. Get your wicker out. It looks kind of like cement, but it looks like it's crumbled. Do any of you know what it is? It's supposed to be a sculpture, but what of? Monument? Some kind of art? Looks dodgy then. Very. There you go, you get a closer look at it. I mean, to be honest, that fist, I'm surprised I haven't got the infinity stones on the back as well. It's different, isn't it? Different. I mean, it'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Like, if you're there at night time, something camping, and you got the light on, or you shine a light in that direction, and you see a giant hand, and you think, whoa, what have we, come across? That's weird. As well, just look at the ground as well. That's kind of relevant to the Dylan Rounds case. You see how dry it is, but you can see the cracks in the ground. Even with that weather and temperature, the ground is pretty solid. It's compact, right? You try digging, it probably would be a little bit difficult. I mean, it would crumble if it's already got cracks in the ground, but it'd require a bit of effort, right? Whereas if it was wet, it might be a bit more mushy, a bit easier to move and, dig up and stuff. But then again, the complete opposite. If it wasn't hot and dry and it was cold winter, such as now, like how Candice Cooley described it, the ground becoming harder. If the ground is harder, then it's, probably not practical digging it up. Probably impacts the scent as well from like the canine unit. But what about a drone though? A drone can take photos still, providing it can withstand a temperature. But if the ground is hard, would it still detect soil disturbance? I'm not too sure. But yeah, there you go. It's just worth taking into mind. This person must have an obsession. Oh no, it's different people taking it. I was going to say. Oh no, I was wrong. It's Frank again. Frank, what are you doing? Stop taking pictures of a fist. I can imagine, Joseph, are you getting any ideas right now? I wouldn't be surprised if you are. It looks like there's some bolts or something. And some weird pink stuff. It's weird. Yeah, it's like the same photos over and over again. Okay, fair enough. Fistful of art. Can you actually see it on ground level? Or an aerial view, I mean? Not really. You can make out like a black object, but this is what I mean. That sculpture and many others out there, you look at it on aerial view, you can't make anything out, can you? Like, look at it right now. If you didn't know that's where it was, you'd probably just say, oh, I can see a black thing. It's probably a rock, a stone, could be a cave, could be a gap or something. And you completely, gone over it, missed it. Wow. No 360-degree photos there. Oh, no, there is one. Oh, when did that appear? I don't remember seeing that. Naughty. What's this one all about? Oh, I did see it. Damn. Oh, actually, that's interesting. Hold on a minute. Ah. Hold on. Could this explain that previous thing we were looking at? So that fist is just there. The fist is there, and next to it looks like that weird tent sculpture, right? Now, as a brief backstory... Oh, come on. As a brief backstory to this, I did actually cover it in a previous video when looking at Lucin externally, right? Well, more internally. And some of you would have seen this, other people may have not. We'll just, just highlight it around, just get rid of that for now, so you can see it. Looks to be some kind of yellow storage container. There's like a weird table on top with poles sticking out, piping, scrap, some kind of thing you could walk on. It's very random, right? As you can see. If you know what it is, what it's used for, make sure to leave a comment down below. Like, what's all that plastic and stuff? What's that there? I don't know. It's just kind of random, right? In the middle of the desert. I don't know if it's a hoarding ground or not, if it's associated with Dylan or not. And I think it's somewhere over that way. That's where the grain shed is. I think that might be in the distance, as I've pointed out in the past. You see that, and I'll just say it again because I know some people would have heard it already. You see the white truck on screen. To the right of it, you've got that pole, diagonal. If you look halfway up the pole, on the left-hand side, right next to it, way back in the background, you can see a small square outline, which probably is the grain shed. I could be wrong, but it just looks like it. So you get the idea of distance. It's not too far away from Dylan. So I don't know if Dylan ever made use of this place, if he ever visited it. What I will say now is, any of you in the chat, have you seen this before on someone else's channel? Have you seen this in a search video? Leave your thoughts down below. And also, anyone that has been out in the area, I don't know if Christopher Lloyd is watching right now. Christopher, have you seen this before? Do you know what it is? What it's used for? Is it still there to this day? Okay. Now, since we got that little introduction out the way, that photo, what we saw before, that fist, and as I said, just behind it in the background, there was like a weird tent, weird wicker structure, almost made out of concrete in a way. Well, from the looks of it, that is it, because it's next to each other on the maps, as you saw before. So that's why it is. It's not a dirt mound. It's yet another sculpture, if you want to call it that. So that kind of clears up that, which is good, ties up a loose end. Now it makes you think, those objects and sculptures in that direction, have they got anything to do with these people here? making use of this scrap, creating artwork in some way. Possibility. Maybe this is where they hang out and get creative, have fun, pass time. Maybe. That could explain that. Leave your thoughts down below. Just thought it was an interesting area. And as well, the good thing is, some of these photospheres some of them are a bit more up to date. And if not that, they're just better visually, right? Very clear compared to Street View at times. Sun tunnels there, yes, of course. Was there ever any proper images of the airport? No, there's only ever one. That one, Ivor Zhodowski. That's a point. Has Ivor Zhodowski been interviewed since? Now, I'm surprised no one like Jim Terry, Pancakes, or anyone else, or maybe no thanks. I'm surprised they haven't reached out to Ivor Zhodowski and asked him what he knows. You know what I'm saying? I know Ivor was supposedly not in the area Dylan went missing, but he might have met Dylan before that. Like, has anyone actually interviewed him properly? I'll do a poll right now. Whether it has been done already or not, do you think Ivor Zhodowski, the guy at Lucin Airport, should he be interviewed right now? Like, by news crew or like the likes of Pancakes, Jim Terry? Should there be some kind of calling? You know, does he know anything? Have they spoken with Candice Cooley since? Or Equisearch? Be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? I'm not going to make an attempt to try and find that abandoned building nearby. There was supposedly one. But it's always difficult to relocate. And you go to a long trance trying to find it. A farm up here. Have we done mine shaft or anything? Just to get an idea if there's any named places. Lucin, Utah. Lucin mine? Mine near Lucin Hill. What? Lucin Pit. What is Lucin Pit? Is that supposed to be a mine? Shame now there's not really any true markers. Try one more time. Lucin, Utah. Mine shaft. Oh. See if this comes up with any results whatsoever. No results found. That's weird. Yeah, there'll probably be like, websites online which will have their own maps which list the different mines. But it's just a shame that Google haven't included them because it's kind of important, right? Is there anywhere else you would like to look? What's this one? Oh, what is it, little town? Is there any places we've not looked at properly? Osino. Oh, that's an interesting place. Look at there. Let's take a look at Osino quickly. Yeah, it does abbreviation. That's good. Just do a motel very quickly because I feel like I've been away from it for a while. Oh no, don't tell me it's those places again. No, we're not going to Elko. We've been there already. Oh no. What a shame. What a shame. Battle Mountain. What's going on here? We are further out the area, so take that in mind. Wine Mucka. Okay. How do I type that in? I don't know. Motel near... There we go. There we go. Is there anything? Oh, yeah, of course, man. Of course, man. Get off. I'll decide which I'll go on first. Right. Oh, boy. There are a lot in this area. I'm only going to look at one, to be fair, to maintain balance, because it is late, the length of this video, but also I know some people might become a bit annoyed by these. So what I'll do is, if you want to see part 2, looking at all of the other motels in Winnemucca, Nevada, if you want to, say yes down below in the live chat right now, okay? So if you want to see all of these other potentially dodgy motels, you want to take a look inside and see what surprises show up next. We've already come across some very unexpected things. Make sure to leave a comment in the live chat right now saying yes, and I will follow it up, okay? So which one should we take a look at for now? You've got winners in casino. Yeah, man. Well, I think we need to go to the casino. Oh no. What's that? I'm hearing words. Jim Terry has given intel that Ellen Berg and Candice Cooley are at this casino right now. Oh God. Let's take a look inside quickly. Let's see what we can find. Oh wow. Casino winners, the card that pays. You better be steakhouse. Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, it's very, well, not, I don't know about very, but it's pretty basic, but it's tidy. The carpet is kind of default, just like your profile picture. Sorry. But no, it's actually okay. It's actually okay. And considering those bed sheets are very white, that's a good sign. It's all looking pretty well. Indiana, stop hiding behind the bed. Show your face, okay? What do we have here? Coffee machine. Got to keep that trend going. That window's pretty high up, isn't it? Damn, you'd have to climb out the window, literally. Bed sheets. All right. I mean, it's not too bad. Could be worse. Yeah, okay. Great image. What's the point of that? Okay, so this one's like an all-in-one. Oh, we've got it all, man. You want people to sit around and stare at you in bed, don't worry. We've got a chair in the corner. We've got a settee. We've got a sofa by the side with a table. And we've got even more tables back there with even more chairs. And then we've even got like a bar or like a small kitchen area with a tabletop where you could put a tripod on and point it towards the bed. Wow. Multifunctional. Great. What are you going to rate this place out of 10? This room, do you think it's an all-in-one room? Is it good enough for you or not? I don't know. Winners in. Oh, who's been leaving their trainers out and about? Naughty. Put them back. So we've got the towels, and you know what? Someone like Princess Missy, she's missed the towels because we've not come across as many in recent time, but here we go to restore hope. They are back and they're not going anywhere. And there's even one hiding up there. So that's all good. Now, what trainers are these? What brand? Nike? I don't know. I can't see the tick. Could be knockoffs. Could be fake. Oh no, from the black market. Here we go. What's that? Is that Ellen Berg over there? Nope. What is that? Candice Cooley behind the bar? Nope. Oh, God. Did I just see Mr. X crawling on the ground looking for loose change? Oh, no. How could you? Oh, don't worry. It's your own money. I forgot, Mr. X. You're loaded! All that money coming out of that machine is being milked dry. What a cash cow. Oh, no, I'm only joking. But yeah, okay, interesting. We move along, onwards. Here we go. We got another bathroom. We got the towels left, right and centre. We've got some tissues as well. Do you really need tissues in a bathroom when you've got toilet paper? Can anyone explain that? If you've got toilet paper, then you don't need tissues, right? If you had tissues in the bedroom, that would make sense because you're not really going to have toilet paper in the bedroom, are you? Well, maybe some people do. Maybe some people. But for most part of it, it doesn't make sense. Oh, wow, what's this? Is this some kind of call centre? Or is this some kind of class? Hey, man, welcome to the class of casinoing. You want to learn the best tips? Learn how to bet? When to back in, back out, go all out, fold in, whatever it may be. I'm the man with the plan. I'm going to teach you so you don't back into a van and look like you've come out the hedge backwards. Okay. Those look like old monitors. I think that's an Acer. Oh my god. Oh no. Not an Acer. They're unreliable. No. Oh, do you know what? For once, I'm glad Jim Terry TV is not present right now, because if he was, he'd probably have a stroke seeing those outdated laptops. No Apple products in sight. You know? Paige, what do you think of this technology? Is it good enough? Let me know. Anyway, got some more angles there with the slot machines. Is anyone gonna win big tonight? Come on, man. Let's see. Oh no. To be honest, I can imagine if I was to try a slot machine, it's not the question of how much I win or how much I lose. It's more to do with the condition of the slot machine itself. What state will it be in by the time I'm finished with it? Because knowing me, if I pulled the lever down, I'd probably walk away with it in my hand. Forget about walking away with money. No, I'm walking away with a piece of the fucking equipment because I'm so clumsy and I don't know my own strength. That would not surprise me. Oh, yeah! Yeah! Who was it now? It was Jim Terry recently that said, if you get me the information regarding this and that, I will give you a free steak meal. Doesn't matter, man. Too late. I've already got one. Got a photo right now. Yeah? You want to take a nibble out of that steak? Now, to you, what's going on here? So you got a steak. Next to it, you got a potato, or as Americans say, potato. I thought that was cream, but it can't be butter. It's white. Mayonnaise, maybe? Some cheese. The steak knife. Okay. Some coffee in the background. Is that the New York accent? Got some coffee? I don't know if I can say anything else. Yo, you got the pizza? Coffee? I don't know. It just sounds shit. But yeah. Is anyone hungry right now? It's probably torture for some people. This is almost like indirect psychological warfare, making people feel very hungry and jealous that they can't be eating this right now. But what about me, man? What about me? I'm the one that has to go through all this. I have to look at all these ice creams, pizzas. Well, maybe not the pizzas, they actually put you off. The chicken, the burgers. And I have to, digest it all without even putting it in my mouth. What a shame. I know that banana is nearby. It's not good enough. Not good enough. Actually, is that blood? No, it's probably just a juice. It's very moist. You can see the juice on it. You give it a little squeeze. The juice will all come out very juicy, very wet. Yeah, very wet. Wow. Anyway, we got some more steaks. Oh no, this is what I should have been doing. I should have been trying my Gordon Ramsay impression. Not done it before. How does he even sound? He's like, right, guys, this is raw. Not good enough. Go back to the kitchen right now. So it's probably the only time I can do an impression with the British accent, because I tried Johnny Depp. That didn't work, did it? Ram. I hope the steaks covered in ram. It's not to my standards. What are those vegetables doing on my plate? I don't not want them. No, I'm not stabby. Polly, no. No way. But God, who made this meal? It's terrible. You donkey. Get it back. We need better service, right? Welcome to Hell's Kitchen. You know, like that. Where's the lamb sauce? Where's the lamb sauce? Right. I mean, you got to sound kind of posh and kind of gay at the same time with an English accent. Right, guys, it's raw. It's raw. No, it's too soft. It's too soft. It's not hard. It needs to be harder. Harder now. Let me know in the chat and be honest, okay? Don't try and protect me. I can stand criticism. Do I sound like Ramsay or not? Top 5. As you can see, there is lettuce on the plate, but the mystery is, where was it beforehand? There's been several reports people were stood on it in the kitchen. A photo was taken and was later uploaded to 4chan. Dodgy with a big D. Okay, so we've got this person segregating the plate. What is going on here? Oh, yeah, we got all the condiments. Oh no! The pancakes are here! Oh no. I guess this is it. This is where it all comes to it. So the free, I can't obviously say the word because my mouth is malfunctioned and fucked and the way it's structured, but pancakes have arrived. Is there any salt? No. But is the white, thick cream? Yes. Do you prefer your pancakes salty or creamy? I'll do a poll right now, okay? Very interesting. So what's happened to that egg? Where's the egg yolk? Why is it covered? Why is it not popping through? Have I got this wrong? I'm a bit confused. Got some potatoes and then a little steak. What is that? That's the worst steak I have seen. It's too small. It needs to be bigger. It doesn't sound like it. I sound like more like Tyson Fury all of a sudden. My name's Tyson Fury. I'll knock you out, you big dosser. I'm the world heavyweight champion of the world. You will not beat me if I'm here, present. No one will ever beat me. I am the greatest. Maybe. But you've not met Jay Silverheels yet. Look at that cream. Does anyone want that cream? Yeah, so the pancakes have arrived. Oh, we got some seafood. Those crab sticks, crab legs, I guess. I'm not an expert with seafood. Lemon. Is that butter juice, maybe, or lemon juice? Probably squeezed from it, isn't it, to squeeze over it. Fishy. What's this in the background? That's spaghetti, all you need. Win. Great. Okay, so it's all about steaks. We've got the glasses here. Oh, no, this explains it. Those glasses. They're Mr. X's glasses. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. X took this photo whilst eating this steak. Wait, is that steak okay? Oh my god, it's fucking raw! It's raw! Call the ambulance right now. It's still moving. God. You. Fuck off out of here, you donkey. I mean, is that steak okay to eat? I wouldn't know because I've not had that before, but visually it does look raw on the outside. I mean, it looks like it looks like they've ate a bit of it, so it must be okay, right? And then we've got some mash there, looks like sick. Is that the cucumber and some peppers maybe? And then there's like a little bread bun there. Probably, yeah, it's probably a reject from Little Caesars, right? Am I right? Probably. There's Mr. X's sunglasses. Oh, there you go. Is that Pepsi? Pepsi, but clear. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh no. We wondered where Don Haley was. Yeah, forget that. It can be all explained. He left his trailer on the fucking side near the road. Well done, man.
Congratulations, great parking, but where's your vehicle? Oh, you forgot to bring your vehicle with you along with the trailer? How did you get the trailer here in the first place, man? Oh, you dragged it. Yeah. Is that it? Wow. I mean, let's be honest, just for the first motel in this area, it's already delivered, hasn't it? Now just imagine what the others could reveal inside. There is a mystery within, right? And the only way to unlock it is to say yes. You gonna say yes to Raf? I hope so.
Right, so I think that concludes the video for now, and partially about the Dylan Rounds case as well. What I will say before you go, or if you've just recently joined, if you want to hear more about Dylan Rounds, brief discussion, Facebook page, questioning, make sure to rewind this video back to the start, and that's where you'll hear more about it. Okay, that's where it's focused at, centralized. I try and cover the most important stuff early on at the beginning. That's where the most retention rate is, right? Makes sense. And then we see where we go from there. We've got a new video idea generated as the outcome of making this video. So that's a big positive. Definitely look at that on top of the video after that. So this is what I mean. You know, it's kind of weird. In a way, it might get to that point where it gets harder to think of stuff to cover, but providing it's natural and not forced, there's no harm in generating ideas to look at things, right? So yeah, appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching in the live chat and communicating too. I'll see you next time, whenever that is. For now, good night and goodbye.